Justin Fields is headed to New York on a 2-year deal. All the questions we have been asking about their quarterback situation have been answered, and wow, is this a big change. We have still yet to see where Aaron Rodgers is going to end up, but the Jets now have a young and dynamic player under center. I'm already thinking about the RPOs and the new style of play this Jets offense can have, and of course, the big headline of all is that Fields will be reunited with his former Ohio State teammate in Garrett Wilson. And we have a lot to unpack here, because at first it seemed like Pittsburgh was pushing to keep Fields, but now we found out that the Jets ultimately wanted him more. And we all knew this was a potential landing spot for him, but to see it actually come to fruition is shocking, to say the least. Before I get into everything in this video, I would really appreciate it if you would drop a like and subscribe. It only takes 5 seconds, plus you can always change your mind. We are on the road to 50,000 subscribers, and with your support, I believe that we can get there super fast. Okay, so Justin Fields really is going to completely change this Jets offense. Obviously, he still has a lot of growing to do as a quarterback, and he has not reached his ceiling yet, but his career has just been weird. He did get to play on the Bears, but that was a dysfunctional environment, and I thought he was thrown out into the wildfire way too early and did not have the resources to fix anything, and then he moved to Pittsburgh, which is a better run and more well-coached organization, but he did not get to play consistently, so hopefully this is the final landing spot where Fields can fully develop, and he can utilize the weapons around him to the fullest potential, because the Jets do have talent. Nobody can say otherwise. There's no argument there. Aaron Rodgers was just at too late of a stage in his career to be effective, especially without a top 5 offensive line in the league. He just couldn't maneuver around the pocket. But Fields, I think Fields can open up the offense. We all know he can gain yards with his legs, but since he already has developed chemistry with Wilson from college, that is probably going to be his #1 target. And then there's Allen Lazard, Xavier Wilson, even Tyler Conklin at tight end. The Jets have a lot of talent at the skill positions. They did get rid of Devontae Adams, which I thought was the right move. And the Jets also, of course, have Breece Hall in the backfield, who to me is such an underrated and underappreciated weapon. Anyways, the Jets are now set at quarterback for the near future. They have Justin Fields, and they also have Tyrod Taylor under contract. And honestly, Tyrod has a pretty similar skill set to Fields. Obviously, they are not the same player at all, but for what Fields is trying to become, I think Taylor does have some knowledge to pass along to help him get there. Real quick, sorry to interrupt, I gotta give a shout out to Final Boss Sour. It's a new dried fruit candy brand. There's no artificial ingredients, sweeteners, or preservatives, and there's 3 different levels, so basically it's a challenge. I want to see if you guys can get to the highest challenge, which is level 3. I promise you, this stuff is super sour. Even me, who's like a heavyweight with that kind of stuff, I had to cringe when I started eating level 3. It's crazy. So go buy some with my Amazon link in the description below. It will really help support me and the channel and what I'm doing. And also trust me, it's great candy. It's a real challenge, man. This stuff is sour. Go check it out now. Let's take a look at some Justin Fields game film from the few games he played as a Steeler and break down where he can be effective on the Jets, because I think it's safe to say that this year's Jets roster in terms of receivers and pass catchers is a lot more talented and deeper than what the Steelers had last season. So one thing that Justin Fields can do is he can rip it right from the line of scrimmage. He's not a guy that hesitates much, which can be both a good and a bad thing. Usually it's a good thing for people with more experience in the later stages of their career, but the dude can throw seams. Even if he is considered more of a running quarterback, I remember back at Ohio State that Hail Mary he threw in the Clemson game. Fields has the arm to make any throw from anywhere on the field without having to wind up or anything. He is also super comfortable in play action and rolling around in the pocket. And as you see here, he can make throws with different arm angles, sort of like what we see out of Patrick Mahomes. I'm just kidding, that was a Chris Collinsworth joke obviously, but basically what I'm saying is that Fields can go outside of the box. He can make throws from weird spots and angles. For him, it's all just about consistency. If Fields can become consistent and can make smart decisions 99% of the time, he can become one of the top quarterbacks in the league. I truly do believe that. This play right here is where I get real excited about what Justin Fields can bring to this team. The ability to escape and use his legs in a calm manner, staying in control and still looking down the field is something that only a few quarterbacks in this world possess. Some QBs would have been sacked on this play, but as soon as Fields sensed the pressure, his instincts kicked in and he took off. And you can debate if he was past the line of scrimmage or not on this play, but either way, he could have picked up a first down with his legs or from throwing it, and he made this throw easier than it looked. He threw it across his body for the first down and more. And like I said, now that he has Breece Hall besides him in the backfield, that is going to be a lot of speed in that backfield, and only time will tell how quickly he is going to develop chemistry with the receivers. Alright, now let's compare what Justin Fields' stats were last year compared to Aaron Rodgers, using math to calculate what the numbers would have been for Fields if he played the same amount of games. So Fields played 6 games, he had 1,106 yards with a 5-to-1 touchdown to interception ratio. Yeah, the touchdown number is pretty bad, he averaged less than 1 per game, but if you watch those games he played in, there were so many times where he led the team down the field and they ran it in. Those touchdown numbers don't tell the whole story. If Fields played the whole season at the pace he was playing at, he would have finished the year with over 3,100 yards and 15 touchdowns, but again, I think he would have found more of a groove, so numbers wise, Aaron Rodgers actually would have been the better option under center in 2025, but Rodgers also was not mobile, he's really starting to get older, and there was just a lot of problems both on the field and in the locker room. I think the Jets made a very smart decision moving on from him and going younger and getting the guy with more upside, and I want to see Fields end the season with over 3,800 yards. That would be ideal for sure. And then let's talk about defense, because that still will most likely be the bread and butter of this team, even with the expected overhaul that is nonetheless going to happen with so many guys hitting free agency, even with the expected overhaul that is nonetheless going to happen with so many guys hitting free agency. I think the Jets through the draft and their signings in free agency are going to be able to keep this unit as one of the most talented in the league, but like I said, we already are and will see some guys depart. And it should be that way because the Jets blew leads last year and couldn't close. The defense did not perform up to the expectation. Maybe we get too comfortable having all those guys, all those playmakers on offense to where it's like we are not filling up our end of the bargain, Sauce Gardner said. If that's true, it speaks to a troubling mindset, scheme, coaching, and personnel are factors too. In crunch time, the pass rush disappeared, it allowed chunk plays in the passing game, and committed big penalties. The defense ranked 4th in yards allowed, but that was a misleading stat if there ever was one. Cornerback DJ Reed said, the defense used to cherish late game opportunities to protect a lead, and now it's very disappointing, he said. It's very shocking. So we will see what happens with the defense over the next few weeks. Let me know in the comments below if there are any players you would like to see the front office draft, and also most importantly, drop your thoughts about the Justin Fields trade in the comments below. And you know what I think about it. But here's what some other guys have had to say.
Breaking news here on CBS Sports HQ as we are hearing that the Jets are going to pick up Justin Fields.
I knew that was coming.
And
B-Mac, how you doing?
Yeah, say a nice hello to our good friend Brian McFadden.
We saw Justin Fields in the beginning of the season last year go 4-2 with the Pittsburgh Steelers, and then Mike Tomlin made a risky decision, decided to bench him and bring in Russell Wilson, and it worked for a while. I believe Russell Wilson went 6-1, but then lost like the last 5 games. So you see the comparison last year right there between Russell Wilson and Justin Fields. The biggest concern for Justin Fields last year was that he wasn't able to push the ball down the field.
That's really all I got for this video. Thank you all so much if you made it to this point, and if you enjoyed and haven't yet, please be sure to drop a like and subscribe, and also let me know what you would like to see next, and until then, I will see you all later.